Reinhardt, it's been an interesting season. How would you define the season so far?
Yeah, Lunga, the Currie Cup was an interesting season so far. So we didn't start off well. The last 2 weekends wins was great for the confidence of the team. We grew a lot and we got a lot of belief in each other. But yeah, it was a rough start. Not exactly what we hoped for. But I think it's good to not necessarily to have it in the beginning of the season and not necessarily at the end. I think we're in a much better space now. Every guy knows exactly what is expected from him. And yeah, I think the guys believe in each other, and we are at the moment we're in a good space.
Just how difficult is it to put all the hard yards at training, spend time planning, but the results just don't come?
Yeah, it's difficult, it's difficult. It's not, you work every week, you come here, you start on a new page and you're working for a win. No one plays to lose. That's not why we're here. So it is difficult, but I think we grew a lot and we learned a lot out of those losses in the beginning of the season. But like I said earlier, we are in a much better space now. The boys are believing in each other, and we still believe that we can win this Currie Cup this year.
One of the things that a lot of people speak about when they speak about the Vodacom Bulls is just the age. It's such a young squad, but within the squad there are guys who've gone all the way and they've done it all in rugby. How important are those figures, as a young rugby player?
Yeah, no, the senior guys in the team plays a massive role. Guys like Morne Steyn, Lizo Koboka, Jacques van Rooyen, even Charlie Jules that's now training with us. He's playing massive. Those guys are playing massive roles, giving us confidence, teaching us what they've learned over the years. That's massive. They give you confidence if they play well. And yeah, you can't really describe the role those guys need to play in the team. They give the youngsters a lot of confidence, and if you see them playing well, you also would like to step up and show what you're worthy of.
Because I was about to ask exactly that. Oftentimes when you play against senior players who've done it all, that can also be pressure. But it seems like you guys are drawing motivation from them instead of it being pressure.
Yeah. No, if you play against all the guys, it's always, as a youngster, you want to show what you were, what you are made of, and that because you want to beat him at the end of the day. So you want to be better than him, and the only way you can do that is stepping up and just fulfilling your roles that you've been trained and you've been coached by the coaches.
You're only 20. How difficult is it to step up?
No, I don't think about my age. I just go and play. I get a lot of confidence out of my training, and the coaches. If I know exactly what's expected of me, I get a lot of confidence, and then I don't mind when I play against all the guys, or I just focus on my job and what I need to do next.
I mentioned that you're only 20, but you've also had the opportunity to play and represent the junior national side. Is that all experience that you draw into, or do you use that as motivation or reinforcement to say you belong and you've got what it takes to make it?
Yeah, Lunga, the under-20s was a great learning experience for me. It's great to play against other countries, and I got a lot of confidence through that because you get a lot of game time there, you get confidence, you feel better about your game. So I feel that stepping stone was definitely just a confidence booster. But yeah, I still get a lot of confidence from my training and the coaching that I get from the Vodacom Bulls.
Tell me, you getting the opportunity to be part of that under-20 setup, was that something that the guys sort of pull your leg about?
No, not really. No, not really. Some guys only, just always joking, I say I just went there for the match fees, but unfortunately you don't get paid playing under-20. But yeah, it was an unreal experience, and I'm grateful for the opportunity I got. But yeah, like I said, it was just a confidence booster, but it's in the past now. It's now you need to focus on what's lying ahead, and you can't carry that on your shoulder the rest of your career. It's in the past now, and you need to focus on the now.
What's ahead for you? I mean, when when you wake up in the morning and you're coming to Loftus, I'm sure that fulfills part of this big dream or big plan that you have in your rugby career. What are some of the things that you'd like to achieve whilst at the Vodacom Bulls?
Yeah, Lunga. So at the moment, I really enjoy my time here. I appreciate the game time I'm getting at the moment. But like I said, there's always something you would like to work to for the next level. So at the moment, I'm still playing Currie Cup. I would really love to get better at my game to play URC in the next couple of years or months. Depends how things turn out. But so at the moment, just play my best rugby at the Currie Cup this season. And then after that, I would love to get in contention for the URC. But yeah, I still need to work on a couple of things in my game. It's not there yet, but I think in the next couple of months, I'll be knocking on the door as hard as possible.
Sure. Do you find it sort of a difficult challenge to remain patient with yourself as you work towards getting that place where you can confidently say, I'm ready to step up?
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. You need to build it brick by brick. It's not going to happen overnight. So it's a process, and you need to measure yourself each day. Every day you need to measure yourself. Where are you? You need to look up to your senior players like Reinhardt Ludwig, Ruan van Mark. You need to measure yourself against them. See what are you lacking in your game. What are their strengths. So sometimes you get frustrated. Because you think you can be there, but I'm still young. I know I don't have everything yet, but I know in the next couple of months I will slowly but surely build my own foundation.
Sure. South African rugby teams now are competing in the European rugby competition, or the ultimate European rugby competition, which is the Heineken Champions Cup.
Yeah.
Is that an extra incentive or motivation for the younger guys that you're playing alongside to want to step up?
That is definitely, Lunga. I got the privilege and the opportunity to play against Lyon and Exeter in the first round of the Heineken Champions Cup this year, and it's an unreal experience. You play against English internationals and France internationals. So as a youngster, 20 years old, you learn it's a great opportunity to measure yourself against those guys. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It is a step up, and you want to play there. You want to measure yourself against the best of England and France. So it's definitely a next level, if I can say it like that.
And I remember those two games, and you guys played exceptionally well against international players, as you say. That's probably just another added boost in confidence, or something that will stick with you as you progress in your game. But getting the opportunity to play must also just inspire you to go out there and give back to the confidence that the coach is showing in you.
Yeah, certainly. I definitely got confidence playing those games. You learn a lot, and if you play well in those games, your confidence as a young player gets boosted a lot. So if you play those games and you come back to the Currie Cup or the URC, doesn't matter where you play, but you feel that you've got what it takes to be the best player in your position for the Vodacom Bulls. So I really appreciated the opportunity. I was earned to play in those games, and I really think as a youngster you can't ask for anything more.
Sure. There is currently a big conversation in South Africa about retaining South African players, finding ways to keep South African players in South Africa, versus them going to play in Japan, playing in Europe for money, etc., etc. As a young player, with South African teams now participating against those premium European and French teams, has that also given you reason to say, you know what, my future is in South Africa?
Definitely, you can now see that you can measure yourself against the best in the world, even though the grass is not greener on the other side necessarily. I've been there. It's always rainy. It's always cold. I really don't want to be there for 6 months or 8 months of the year. It's not my cup of tea. But I love South Africa. I love the environment that the Vodacom Bulls that I love the environment that they create, the opportunities I get. I'm really privileged to be here, and I'm really thankful for what the Vodacom Bulls are doing for me at the moment.
How have you found your time since arriving at the Vodacom Bulls? Of course, you didn't have to travel far. I mean, you were just a stone throw away.
Yeah. No, it was so welcoming, and since the beginning, I always felt welcome here. I've learned from guys like Dwayne Vermeulen, Marcel Coetzee, Trevor Nyakane was still here. So when I just arrived, it's all these childhood heroes you look up to. Morne Steyn, who's still playing, Liso Kobolka, Springboks. And now, all of a sudden, you play with your childhood heroes, and it's like a dream come true. You can't explain it to you. Since I was a little boy, I was a blue bull. I grew up in Pretoria, so my blood will forever be blue. And it's just an honor and a privilege to play with your childhood heroes and the team you've always been fantasizing about.
Of course, Charlie came through for a short stay with the Vodacom Bulls, and he was speaking about how he admires Victor Matfield. And I just wonder now, in your position as a lock, is Victor somebody whom you perhaps grew up watching, or is there another Vodacom Bulls legend who sort of inspired you to get into rugby?
Yeah, I've always loved Victor Matfield. I always looked up to him. He's a great player, and I still look at some of his clips still today to see what he called in lineouts and how he handled it and why he did certain things in a certain way. So I really looked up to him as a player, and still today I look after clips from him. And the other guy is PS Peace, just because he's also an old Affy boy. So I've always, since primary school, I loved PS Peace and his running lines. He's also a great example, a great leader, and I think he's a guy any young boy could look up to.
What have you found to be the most interesting thing about being in the line-out formation? What has worked for you, and what do you perhaps find as an opportunity to just grow and become better, or even better in your role?
Yeah, I learned a lot from Reinhardt Ludwig in the lineouts. He's a master in the lineouts, and his composure and his calmness when it comes to lineouts calling is unbelievable. So I've learned a lot from him. And I think it also helped me that I play a bit of 7 to see the lineout from a different perspective. So I think it's great that Coach Jake and the other coaches back me to play 7 and 5, just to learn as quickly as possible different roles and to see the game from another perspective. But there's definitely guys that really helped me in this process. And I must say, Reinhardt Ludwig really is always by my side and helping me making decisions.
As a young rugby player, do you think for you there's better gains in specializing, so i.e. just being a straightforward 7, or sticking to 5, or is it better to become versatile and be good at both positions, or look to be good in both positions?
At the moment, I think it's good for me to be versatile. I'm still 20 years old. Hopefully, if I stay injury-free and stuff, I still have a long career ahead of me. So at the moment, I think it's good to be versatile. But in the next couple, let's say the next 2 years, I think I need to specialize in one position and be a master at that position. So in the next 2 years, I will definitely sit with some coaches and ask them their opinions, and then I will specialize in one position and focus on that for my career.
I want to ask you what position that is, just to allow you the room to choose. Maybe in 2 years' time we'll have this conversation again. It's a big fixture on the weekend. There's 3 games on the cards. One, our noisy neighbours come to take on Zebra, and then we've got the Vodacom Bulls against Leinster. And then after that, you've got the Vodacom Bulls and the Fidelity ADT Lions. It's a big Saturday of rugby. Just from your perspective as a player, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, yes, it's going to be a massive day. I can't wait to hear the atmosphere and the loud music and the Bulls fan with the Bulls horns and blue jerseys. I think it's going to be an awesome day. The fans I don't think they realize how special they are to us. You really hear them on the pitch, and they carry you through the game in that last 20 minutes. So I hope I'm asking the fans now to pitch up in their numbers and just support us. We'll make sure we play our best and just play running rugby for you guys that you can enjoy. And we really appreciate your support. It really helps us as players.
Before we get to the fixture against the Lions from a Currie Cup perspective, the fixture against the Chelsea Sharks in Durban, team was quite under a lot of pressure in that last 10-15 minutes, but they were resolute in the way that they defended. Just from your point of view, what was that performance like?
Yeah, that was a great confidence booster for the team, and we got a lot of belief out of that win. We never felt in that game that we were going to lose. We felt in control. We felt that we were better on the day, but we made it difficult for ourselves. The last 10 minutes, we conceded a lot of penalties, and that unfortunately cost us. But the character and desire to win that last 5 minutes was unbelievable from the boys, and we can really like I said, that gave us a lot of confidence that we can take into the next game against the Lions, who's also hurting. They lost just against the Greek was the weekend. They are 1 point ahead of us, so it's a massive Currie Cup clash lying ahead this weekend. So I'm really asking for the fans to pitch up and support the boys.
Sure. You touched on the Lions, and that was my next point, to say the way you guys defended in that last 10 minutes specifically sort of throws forward to the kind of fixture you can expect against the Lions, in the sense that they just lost it in that last 10 minutes as well. So it's going to be two teams who know how to dig deep. Just how difficult do you anticipate that fixture to be?
Yes, a Yuckskate derby is always a massive derby. It's gonna be tough. They're only 1 point ahead of us on the log, like I already said. So when we have a lot to play for, we're not going in it just for the game. We want the result. So it's gonna be tough, and we know they're also hurting because they come from a loss. So you can expect anything from them. It's gonna be a massive clash.
As a youngster, you've grown up watching Currie Cup, you've grown up seeing your heroes run out for the Caribbean. And there's a lot of conversations now just about whether or not the Currie Cup is still, a premium competition, or it's still a special tournament. Just as a young rugby player who's got so much to offer still in a long career ahead, how important or how special is the Currie Cup?
The Currie Cup is massive. It's so special for me. I remember when my dad brought me to Loftus on Saturdays, watching Currie Cup, Bulls against the Stormers, Bulls against the Sharks, Vodacom Bulls against the Sharks. It was also always special, all your childhood heroes playing on the field. So no, the Currie Cup is a special tournament, and I really hope that it keeps its value and its worth. I really hope that it's really special to be part of as a youngster, being part of this competition and competing against the other best guys in South Africa.
Finally, what do you hope will be, the big takeaway at the end of the season? What do you hope will be, is it winning the Currie Cup, going all the way? Would you just be happy to get through the season injury-free? Or, for example, it could be getting the opportunity to redo some of those mishaps from the beginning of the season?
For now, all our focus is on the next game. We want to win each game in the Currie Cup and the URC, and I think both squads believe that we can still win it. We are playing some good rugby at the moment, both squads. So we believe that we can win the Currie Cup still. We're still in contention. We just need to win each of our next games. And the URC, I think also, they have the same vision. They just want to win the cup. Last year, no one's going to remember us for being second in the URC. So I think all of the boys, just works for 2 trophies. And that's the main goal at this stage.